Welcome back to the Woodhouse Auto Family Halftime Show on 1360 Radio KSCJ. It's homecoming at East High School tonight, and we're celebrating the Black Raiders. East is celebrating the Black Raiders' 30th anniversary of that state championship '84 team, and I'm joined by a member of that team, Jeff Croston. And does it feel like 30 years ago, Jeff?
I don't want to think that it's 30 years ago. I look in the mirror, though, and it tells me that it's 30 years. But it just seems like yesterday we were out there playing for Coach Fiegel at the state tournament. Being around and coaching at East High, you feel that energy and enthusiasm every game, and it just every time we go in the locker room, I'm thinking about times when I played, things that are the same and the things that are different, and there's a lot of those.
When you walk into well, it's now Elwood Olsen Stadium. It was Roberts back then, but when you walk into the stadium for an East High game now, could you be walking into a game in '84, or would you know it was different if you didn't know the personnel?
Well, the grass is obviously different because you have that nice turf field there. But no, I mean the environment's the same, the crowds are the same, and that's what it's all about. That high school enthusiasm, the atmosphere that you see at a high school football game is just awesome, and that hasn't changed. And the backing of this community for the Raiders, Morningside, for the East High Black Raiders has been great for years. So.
As you've grown to become a coach now at East High on the football staff of Bob Goodwin, can you kind of compare the times with Walt Fiegel? I mean, you've seen this program now from both sides, and it seems like the Fiegel influence just never goes away.
No, I mean, well, first of all, the thing that Coach Goodwin always talks about is the history, going out and not only playing for yourself, but playing for those who've been here in the past. So, he reminds the kids constantly about the tradition and the history that people that have played prior to them, the energy and the hard work that they put in, and then remind them of what they've done over the past 4 years since they've been in high school. And none of that's changed. You replace a coach, you put a different coach in there, but it's the same thing. It's the X's and O's, and then getting kids excited about what they're doing and going out and playing football.
Is football now in high school the same as it was back in your day, or has this become a more specialized type of a extracurricular?
I think you see more year-round weightlifting development. Also just keeping kids in shape, and that stuff's changed a lot. When I played, I was the biggest guy on the team at 225. Now you're seeing kids at 260, 280. The linebackers are a lot bigger than they used to be. The running backs are bigger. The quarterbacks. All the kids put in a lot of time year-round, and you can see it on the field. Also, the biggest thing I've seen is just the offense and defense, the complexities. I used to just be running the ball right and left for the most part, but the passing game is incredible, and the defenses that are had to develop because of that, the game's just become more complex.
Did you feel like that was a state championship season when it started in '84, or was this something that sort of came to you guys as the year went on that, we're really good?
Well, at the beginning of the year, we were ranked number one, and so as the year went along, you felt that energy. But we went down and played Dowling, and we beat Dowling, and so you could, you felt kind of had a feel for it. But as the weeks went along, the pressure got higher. We ended up losing a couple games at the end of the season, and we had to get refocused going into the playoffs and get things turned around and go on to state. A little bit of luck takes you to state, and that happens with any team. We had luck on our side that year. Against Roosevelt, we won by 1 on a missed field goal. And at the end of the championship game, they were first down on, let's say, the 15-yard line, and the defense, through some great plays and some penalties, pushed them back out of field goal range, and we ended up winning the game. So part of that's luck, part of that is just kids doing what they're supposed to be doing out in the field.
This is the Woodhouse Auto Family Halftime Show. We're talking with Jeff Croston, a member of the state championship 1984 East High Black Raiders. And Coach, thinking back to Walt, or assistant coach, I guess, your coach, what the heck? Thinking back to Walt Fiegel, I know that there's a lot of sayings and stories about him. What's perhaps the best memory that you have of Coach Fiegel, maybe saying something to you that sort of is something you think about today?
Well, I mean, there's so many. The pregame speeches were just great. I mean, you'd sit in there and he would get on a roll, and he would bring you to a level you needed to be to go out on that field. I mean, just the energy coming out of that locker room. You're ready to play football. You're ready to go out and play football for Coach Fiegel. All the sayings that he would throw out there. You get in a group of former East High players, and they just go out right and left. I'm president of the Walt Fiegel Foundation. We raise money to give scholarships out to graduating kids in the city. And I think Coach Fiegel will be proud of that and that legacy that he put out there, that he's got a group of guys that felt enough about him to go out and raise money and kind of keep that tradition going. The things that he was concerned about was kids, community, and we feel privileged to be able to take his name and kind of continue that legacy.
After you left East, you went on to play football for another legendary coach at Iowa, Hayden Fry, and
Yeah.
the two they were sort of parallel. They never ran in the same circles, but I know that Fiegel knew Fry when he got here.
Yeah.
What was your memories of your Iowa playing days?
Coach Ferentz was my position coach down there, so going down there every week or when I have gotten down there, you still have that tie to the University of Iowa, but just the development of friendships, camaraderie that you had back then with those players. Those are the things I think about now. But you also, when Saturday hits and you're watching it, whether you're at the stadium or you're on TV, just that pride of wearing the black and gold, playing for Coach Fry, Coach Ferentz, two awesome coaches. It's just an incredible feeling that I was able to experience those things.
When you watch an Iowa game now and you see how the offensive line operates, do you see a Ferentz offensive line that you remember back from that time?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, he was very technical. I mean, the things you focused on, footwork and where your hands need to be positioned when you're blocking somebody, those things haven't changed. The zone, inside outside zone, some of those things have changed, but the technique overall and how he coached hasn't. And you can see that in the number of players that he's they've gone on and played pro football. I mean, Coach Ferentz is one of the best coaches in the country as far as the offensive line is concerned, and as a head coach as well.
And then back then, Ferentz was probably not that much older than you guys down there. We had to have been close. So was it a different feeling having a coach going from Coach Fiegel here that quite a bit older than you guys to Coach Ferentz, who's probably 5, 6, 7 years older?
Yeah, you think about the coaching staff down there at the time. I mean, Bobby and Mike Stoops were down there, Coach Ferentz, Dan McCarney. That was a group of guys that were basically in late 20s and early 30s. And the Stoops were actually just out of college when I got there, so they were grad assistants. But they were a young group of energetic guys. I mean, they were in the weight room and running, and you couldn't get away from the energy that they had down there. And Coach Fry had an outstanding staff. Coach Alvarez, Coach Snyder. Coach Snyder was brilliant. I mean, I've never been around a coach that understood the game as much as he did and taught it so well.
Well, taking it back now to East High School, You're on the staff now. You're part of this. Any greater feeling than Friday night football?
No. Every time we get in the locker room, I get a chill. Listen to the pregame, and then just running out on that field, wearing the black and orange. There's not a greater feeling. Sometimes you wish you could be out there doing it with them, but no, reality that you can't do that at our age. So.
All right. Well, Jeff, it's your night here for the Celebrating the 84 team. Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back with more of the Woodhouse Auto Family Halftime Show on 1360 Radio, KSCJ.